Dun 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 dun. Never mind. I just thought that movie, Madagascar, like 3 or something. Hey, so the last video I was talking about circus elephants at the end. This next lesson has nothing to do with circus elephants, but here's a picture of a circus elephant. And here's a random fact. Did you know there is a place out in Paris, California, not France, Paris, California, where you can rent elephants? I think it's called something like havetrunkwilltravel.com or something. But if you need an elephant at a party, I think you can hire an elephant for a party. How cool is that? How expensive would that be? Okay, hey, let's do some math now. Ratios and proportions, identifying equivalent ratios. Let's start with the word ratio. A couple things, ratio. It's a relationship between two numbers. And when I think of the word ratio and the word rational, like rational numbers, I'm thinking about fractions all the time. It's usually how I like to represent ratios. So let's put a big idea. This is a lot about the idea of a fraction too. So here's how we can write different ratios. We have something like this. A ratio would be 1/2. 1/2, that's a ratio. 1 egg to 2 cups of flour. Or we can write it like this, 1 to 2. Or you'll also see it written as 1 to 2 with a colon. I prefer the fractional form of most of these when I'm doing my math, but you'll see all these forms. And the word equivalent, right? We're dealing with identify equivalent ratios. The word equivalent means just, it's a fancy word for equals. And the idea here is very simple. You know that 4/8 is equal to 1/2. These are ratios that are equivalent. They're fractions that are equal, equivalent ratios. So let's do some problems with this. And the question right here, if this comes into focus, are these two fractions, or these two ratios equal or equivalent? Well, 42/7, is that the same thing as 24/4? One way to do it is just do the division. 7 goes into 42 6 times. 4 goes into 24 6 times. These two fractions are equivalent. These two ratios are equal. So yes. Three to 2 and 12 to 12. I like, when I'm doing the math, to write these as fractions. So this is the same thing as 3/2. Is that the same thing as 12/12? Well, not even close. This is 1.5. 1.5 does not equal 1. So these are not equivalent. That's a no. (64 to 72). I'll write that as a fraction. So 64/72. Is that equal to 86/98? I could reduce them. I can use a calculator though. Let's see. What's 64/72? 0.888888. Oh, you can't see that. 0.88888. 0.8 repeating. Is that the same as, let's try this other one, 86 divided by 98. Oh, it's 0.87. These are not the same. They are not equivalent. And look, if I'm using a calculator, this is really fast. So this is 917 over 393. Is that the same thing as 966 over 414? There we go. Let's just see. 917 divided by 393, so that's 2.3. 966 divided by 414. Yep, those look like they're the same. Are these ratios equivalent? 4 packages, 6 weeks. So 4 over 6. Is that the same as 12 over 18? This one, I'll half it. That's 2/3 equals 6/9, which, that's the same, isn't it? Yeah, that's going to be 2/3. So yes, those are equivalent. There you go. Circus elephants.